Hello, everyone. Hey. Welcome in, everyone, to Deliver Us Mars. Thank you, ESA, for helping to reschedule this run. I was very exhausted last night. So now we're here at the final run for ESA Marathon 2.
Yes.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. How are we all doing? For those who do not know who I am, I go by the name of Nikoheart. I'm an online creator, and I play video games. I go fast, and I do things. Paulister, talk about yourself.
Hi, I'm Paulister. I'm the speedrunner of all the indie games that make you go, wait, you know that one? I don't care. You've seen a lot of me over the past week on Stream 1, so yeah, you probably know a little bit more about what I've done over there. But yeah, that's more or less me. That's what I do.
It pretty much is. I mean, like, we've had some amazing shenanigans from all of you lot and yourself, so it's been a good time. Mm-hmm. So this is a very, very, very charming game. This is a sequel to Kyokun's prior game, which was Deliver Us the Moon. If you've not played that game, you should definitely go play this as well. And Deliver Us Mars is kind of like a 10 years in the future sort of situation, coming from the perspective of Kathy, which is the youngest daughter of the family. We could talk more about it very, very soon, but I do have a little bit of like a spiel. We've got like a big documentation of commentary. So Paulister and myself probably will be referring to our documentation a few times throughout this run, just because there is a ton of lore to unpack within a span of under 2 hours. So we're going to try our best, but let me just give you this little spiel here. Sequel to Deliver Us the Moon, where a lone astronaut is sent to the moon on a critical mission to save humanity from extinction by trying to generate Ark-like spaceships, which were also capable of producing power and sending it back to Earth. But things didn't go as planned. So they tried to find another habitable planet to generate power, and then so on and so forth, hence Deliver Us Mars. And so it's 10 years in the future, after the aptly known Fortuna mission, which happened in Deliver Us the Moon. And they went away, and humanity is closer to extinction because, you know, humans, they overuse resources and all that jazz, you know, like they basically did not treat it well. And then whilst Earth's in its critical state, they go on a mission to save itself from any further dismay. And basically that's where we're at right now. So let's actually start a new game. All right. And get this timer going. So Paulister, the time will start when it goes into the little low screen. So
okay.
So I'll say now in a second. Now, let's go. So it's literally, like, it's interesting for the way that we start the actual IGT and RTA. It's kind of like it's in the middle of the low screen instead of like on the actual menu bit, but it's fine anyway. So this is Kathy Johansson, a very, very wonderful character of this game and the protagonist of this game as well. So Isaac Johansson is kind of part of the Lunar Council of the WSA, which is the Worldwide Space Agency. Now within, oh, by the way,
cargo broom.
And like, imagine having this kind of stuff as a kid. Like, this would be so fun. Like, you know, levitating objects. That'd be so much fun. So that little floating object is actually one of the ASCs, which is like the companion robots, which are very useful for, you know, our moving forwards and, you know, the just general operations of things. They can, they're also very lifelike as well, which is quite nice. Yes. So as you can see in this TV right here, Isaac Johansson is kind of like, I want to protect Kathy from the real world of like events that are happening. So there's like, because of the way that Earth is kind of in this current dismay and, like, you know, just things are going on, Isaac wants to protect us from that. And you know, so he goes, why don't you go swimming with swimming with your sister Clara into this wonderful pier. I mean, look at the location that they live in as well. They chose a very, very specific location, which we'll talk about a little bit later on as well. We're going to be doing a strand a second, which is just falling off early. I fell off. Anyway.
Yes. Rip Bozo.
Now, we can actually get a little bit of an extra boost if we do try to line ourselves well, but we do, you know, fall off the side off the way that Claire runs into us. So the only thing we'll do is just...
Moonbear wants to go snorkeling too.
Well, Moonbear's going to get wet. We don't want wet bear. And there we go. Easy peasy. Bloop. Going into the next part of the prologue, and we're going to be waking up like a few years in the future. I think it's a few years in the future. Yeah. Out of cryosleep. So we don't know exactly why we're in cryosleep right now. The story isn't fully explained to us. But at least we got Moonbear.
We found.
Yeah, Moonbear's lovely. Like, I've actually got a physical Moonbear. It's really nice. So Isaac's kind of like, very sort of like, anxious and very like, okay, we need to get out of here, we need to get out of here. There's a button over here that he wants us to press. We don't know what we're doing. We're just obeying the commands of our dad at the moment.
Yeah. Very much in a panicked state.
Yeah,
there,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, it's time to go.
You can hear it in his voice. It's just like it's stealthing now. Now, if we line ourselves well, we can just get pushed up here as well. We can also like get in between here and just look at our scalp.
Yes. That's a very healthy scalp.
Yeah. They what is it? Do you use Head and Shoulders? No. How can you tell? Exactly. Why would I reference a Head and Shoulders? I have no idea. So, because of our stature and size, Isaac wants us to go up into this little vent here because he's too big to fit.
Yes.
What we don't actually know, because we're too young to know this, and we're too in a state of like delirium from waking up from cryosleep, is that he wants us to get rid of the ASE from the WSA, because this ASE we recorded all the events that happened in Deliver Us the Moon, which doesn't exactly favor Isaac to the WSA as well, and anything that happened from the Lunar Council, members of the Lunar Council. So we got to try to, unwillingly, without and unknowingly, steal the ASE, which is we're compliant now.
Yep, we are complicit to whatever is going on.
Exactly, and you can see this in a second where the ASC comes down, and Isaac's trying to actually, grapple it to be able to transfer the ownership back to himself.
7354-N. Initiate transfer protocol. Lunar Council override. Isaac Johansson. Code 170544.
Ace isn't like this.
Yeah, so it's more of a case of just like, you can tell that that things aren't going great. And I think Kathy is starting to realize this as well. Whilst also coming out of cryosleep as well, Kathy's not in a very great physical state at the same time because, she's just woken up and her muscles need to revive and to get better.
Yeah.
And immediately she's having to use it again. So, yeah, Isaac's going to be carrying her all the way through. And as we're going through as well, we're going to be running past our sister. Mm-hmm. And Claire didn't even know that but by the way, we're on a moon base, by the way. We're actually on the moon. So this is kind of a little bit just after Deliver Us the Moon. So Isaac's wanting us to all live on the moon. Everybody's happy. Obviously, what happened in Deliver Us the Moon didn't go quite well. So now he wakes us out of cryosleep on the moon. So for some reason, he managed to steal us or kidnap us onto the moon. Which just gives a little bit more of an indication of, this is not... Should we trust him? Should we not trust him? I don't know. We've got time probably for one donation whilst we wait for these doors to open. So, Joshimus, would you like to?
I would love to. We have a $5 donation from Boglory. I think I said that vaguely correct enough. Enough for you know who it was. Yeah. This all seems like a lot of trouble for a chocolate bar.
Give me a Twix instead. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you for that donation.
Thank you so much, buddy. Much appreciated.
Just real quick, in my game, audio be turned down just a touch, just a little bit. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, so in the background, we can hear Claire's desperately trying to retrieve us as well, because at this point in time, Isaac is treated as a criminal, as you can so aptly realize from from what we just priorly said. Mm-hmm. So as we get to this little bit here, we're going to be skipping a cutscene. Mm-hmm. But what's going to be happening in the cutscene is that we're going to be collapsing full because again our body is not ready for physical exertion. Claire manages to retrieve us from actually going with Isaac, and Isaac escapes on his own to Mars with the Outward, which is the sort of the project team that were trying to do good for humanity. That we can touch a little bit later. Right, Paulus, did you want to talk a little bit maybe about Chapter 1 and some points from what's going on? But before we do that, sorry, I'm going to do a strat. It goes like this, jumping over this, landing on this, and landing on this. Nice. And that was perfect. That was great.
That was very nice. Well done. Yeah. So I can probably just
absolutely
go for it. So So it's been 10 years now since the incident, TM, and we're now working for the WSA. The Fortuna mission that occurred in the former game in this series, Deliver Us the Moon, and the restoration of power supply from the moon did not help humanity at all. So conditions on the planet become even worse. I think that's pretty obvious here. And they hadn't learned from their mistakes and were overusing resources again.
I almost died.
Oh dear. Wait. Yeah, well done. You did it.
Yay, I survived.
You did it. So I was trying to riff off of everything. I just woke up from it.
No, don't worry, I just woke up as well. I woke up like this. So what we're doing right now is that we're working with, how they were able to transfer power in this day and age, which is through MPT dishes, which is microwave power something. I think I wrote that down, didn't I?
Yeah, MPT, microwave power transmission dishes.
There we go.
Yeah, Kathy's now aiming to try to save the world, to restore it to its former glory. And our companion is Ayla, I believe.
That's correct, yes.
Ayla. Yeah.
A-Y-L-A.
A-Y-L-A, Ayla, and assists us in every way possible. And we're going to see a lot of Ayla throughout the run.
Pretty much, yeah. So this is Ryan. He's a friend who actually, treats us like a human because obviously with it being 10 years later and the infamousy of Isaac's actions, people don't really treat us nicely, as you can imagine, because, we're associated to the family of the Johansons. So people kind of keep us at a distance. So we kind of just have to deal with the pain and suffering of just the judgment, the antagonization. But, we got a friend. Ryan's a friend. But yeah, this is just like a big intro cutscene with all the credits and all the people who made the game. We're basically going to be going through the routing towards the WSA, and you can see in the interim as well, just the way that the world is currently looking in its current state, and actually civilization, which is living outside of the WSA as well, and how people are living in shacks and living with limited resources as well. So it's not exactly the best of times and situations. We'll see it in a moment, but I think we've got time for maybe a donation or two whilst we get into the WSA. So, Joshimus.
Okay, we have a $25 donation from Chrissy G4, who says, "You're the best, Nico. Appreciate you. Now on to the last hours of this great event. It has been great. Thanks to everyone that is or was part of ESA Summer."
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. Much appreciated, buddy. It's been an amazing marathon, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's been absolutely amazing. We've been able to raise so much money for such an amazing cause.
Over $70,000. That is always incredible. That's such an amount of money raised. All going towards Alzheimer's Fund. And so, again, if you do have...
Yes. And look,
I thought you were going to say something.
I will, but go on.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
If you are able to donate towards the cause and to make the change and progress into life-changing resources to help Alzheimer's, please donate, ! Donate in the chat or in the panels below. Paulister.
Yes, absolutely. And if we hit $80,000, the final milestone madness will happen. Me and Huds, the finale of the face-off. Who's going to win? Who's going to lose? It's going to be our friendship. The friendship is going to win. It's going to be that.
It's the friends that we lost along the way.
Friends that we... lost.
Lost.
Both. Yes.
Both.
So, can we get a $5 donation train?
Speaking of, we actually do have another donation of that amount.
Yeah, we got a $5 donation from Ked Z.
Yay.
Who says a game about Mars, but there's no Doom guy. Hashok.
Yes. We will rip and tear until it is done, eventually.
Eventually.
Yes.
Right, we do have to be careful when we come out of this car because for some reason it may not just give us the run, so we got to actually press shift for a few times. We can start running and going into the WSA. Now, here's a fun little bit. For those who have never played Deliver Us the Moon, during this museum part of WSA, it basically gives you a full lore rundown of the game. Unfortunately, that's slow, so we're going to be skipping it, but I'm sure Paulister could talk a little bit about it, so...
Yeah. Okay, so the museum here contains all the lore for Deliver Us the Moon and the effects of what the Fortuna mission's impact on Earth and the treachery Isaac and the Lunar Council did to Earth and their criminal behavior. Because of what Isaac had done, everyone doesn't take too kindly to us because they associate him too much to us. So we get, at this point, we get Ayla to open the door for us and we bump into Sarah Baker. There we go. who suffers from PTSD from all the events that transpired from Mission Fortuna, and after awakening 5 years later from cryosleep. I believe we're going to be having a bit of a cutscene skip halfway through.
Yep, we're going to be skipping a cutscene, and the fun thing we're going to be doing is our first out-of-bounds strat, which is not with our character model, but with Ayla themselves. We actually, just a few days before I left to go to ESA, I figured out consistent strats for these out-of-bounds as well, which has been surprisingly so much easier than I thought it would ever be. So again, this is actually a very, very fun run to pick up because some of the strats now are, they're spot on, they're perfect, it's great. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be pressing C to go into the perspective of Vita, then going out, and depending on where our positioning is and if there's objects in our way, Isla will try to get back to our position, which is just beside our right shoulder. So in that process as well, sometimes they will go through objects or they'll just teleport to us. So we're going to be lining ourselves up beside a bin and a chair. That's our scalp again.
Nice.
And if we press C, then C again, we'll be in another room, basically. So with that, we can align ourselves into another position to try to then teleport ourselves into a pipe, which is the actual place where we need to be. So I'll show you that right now. Here we go.
Yes.
So we got to jump up around these boxes. This is where we've got to line ourselves up so that we can get the right kind of teleportation back for Ayla. Then once we do that, we can go around over to this little gap here. Press C, C. And now this is one of the ways that we can go. So we're going to go up and around over here. Press C, then C, and we're outside of bounds again. We want to line ourselves up towards this pipe here. This is a bit weird because the dialogue's already started, so let's see. Perfect, okay.
Let's go.
Even with the backup, we still did it. This is exactly where we need to be so we can continue the dialogue of the actual main bit to advance the game. I was worried about that because we do actually have an easier strat. This was what we were doing initially as our setup for this strat. So I'm glad we could do backups, basically. Right, did you want to talk about the dialogue here and what's going down? We should have written about that.
So we're in the meeting we're peering into. They're establishing that they received a transmission using WSA communication devices, which can only mean it came from Project Outward on Mars, and potentially Isaac. Dun dun dun. The only words that we hear that could be made out from the transmission from Isla's side was Moon Bear. And that's in a cutscene that we're about to skip in just a moment.
So Moon Bear is the name that Isaac gives to Kathy, and has called him from since day dot, basically. Yeah,
absolutely. So we also find out that the energy is the least of our concerns, and that rising CO2 levels are killing off flora and fauna, and Earth is at an inclining rate of becoming uninhabitable. So WSA tried to assign a mission to bring back the Arks, which also host a lot of the flora and fauna needed to produce more oxygen to the environment. As they're assigning the people to the mission, our friend Ryan puts our name into the hat because of our MPT expertise and majoring in stream tech. One of the heads of WSA, Maria Gonzalez, convinces Claire to take us on.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So you just saw that they're all, you just go really fast around this way for no reason whatsoever once we did that skip. So now it's going to be skipping a bit more further in time. And it's, I hope I don't get the cutscene skip. No, we don't. So a few months later at 2069 AD. Nice.
A few months later.
So there is a fun little thing that we could do here as well, which saves a few seconds. Basically, we can sit down in this vehicle from the outside and, just advances a few seconds. Whilst this is all going on, what's going to be happening is that we're going to be escorted to the space shuttle, and we're going to be starting our ascent and our direction towards the Mars, in which we're going to be delivered to. I basically made a pun around the game name, didn't I? So there we go. So this will be a perfect time for donations in a second. But again, as we've been escorted, we're going to be able to see everyone is knowing that we're going up into space as well. And everybody's extremely angered because they are already using so much resources. WSA, are using so much money and so much resources that could have been used to, I don't know, save everybody else or, give people food or whatever it is. So they are completely angered. They're going to be throwing bottles at us, and we're just going to, they're just going to pretend like nothing happened. It's just like, just ignore them. It's a bit of a weird tangent. I mean, I understand exactly what is trying to transpire, but it's still just like, oh. But you know what I'm not gonna about is donations, Josh Mus.
Amazing. So, did you say you were taking a rocket to Mars?
Rocket Man!
Okay, no, that's not what I'm going for.
Okay,
Do you know what would be a better vehicle to take to Mars?
go for it.
A train. Do you know what would fuel the train? $5 donations.
Let's do it.
Come on, it was a bit contrived. I'm gonna.
I like it.
I appreciate the effort.
We got a $5 donation fueling that train from Strife, who says, "Don't look behind you. I'm watching."
Everybody point at Strife.
I don't know if people can see me, but I'm pointing. Let us conduct this donation train home. We're not going home, Strife. We're going to Mars. But thank you for the $5 donation. Keep them coming.
$5 donation train to Mars. $5 donation train to me, hopefully beating HUDs.
Oh yeah.
Let's make it happen.
Wait, what's the ratio right now? Is it?
It is 3 wins for HUDs, 2 wins for me.
Ooh, let's make it free for Polisner, shall we?
Yes. So hopefully, at least I can tie it. Hopefully, maybe even get a leg up. But we'll see. We'll see.
If we end with a tie, it's the friends we made along the way. Hopefully this time instead of the losings. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, here it is, the space shuttle. Now, the WSA have been using all of their resources and money. And like you can see like this, look at these like palm trees and the sparseness of them and just the dirt. And like the no life, the no greenery. Again, the CO2 levels is rising, so there's nothing to really produce oxygen that much, is there? So,
I didn't want to worry you.
so that's kind of what's going on at the moment. So, as we're getting up into the space shuttle, the only things that we're going to be doing is very scripted, static order of operations, which I did write down.
Yes.
So I may actually grab the, order because I do forget at the times. Okay, there we go. Don't you turn off of me whilst I'm doing this, because if you do that, that's going to be bad.
I can read it out for you as well.
You also could read it out.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll see what happens. But by the way, this run actually does have the potential to PB as well. I do have Lightspeed running in the background as well. So if we do get it, then that'll be a nice way to end off ESA Marathon 2.
Yeah, with
So
a
we'll
nice
find
banger
out.
PB.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I think my current PB is like a 151, I think. Somebody go to speedrun.com and check that for me.
I am running. I am sprinting.
You're sitting, Paulister.
Don't.
Sorry, buddy. Logical solution. I'm sorry, buddy.
All right.
The slow ascending to the cockpit of the space shuttle. Yes. The atmospheric, like, I mean, when you get the, the graphical settings turned all the way up, this is a very, very pretty scene as well. Like, obviously, we turned all the graphical settings to low just so that it can run at its best performance as well. But, this is a very sort of like, just like, the anxiety is rising. Everything started to happen. It's just like, oh my goodness me. It's, the nerves start to flutter, especially when this is your first playthrough. There is a point where you actually do exit and go into space to fix some thrusters and stuff like that. That is genuinely terrifying. I actually almost screamed when I first played this because it felt so real. And it's amazing when games can make you feel like you are in the game as well. And Kyokin did a fantastic job.
Harrowing the heights here.
Right, and now we've got to press F on this.
Okay. Just to verify, any percent PC NG plus or NG?
Yeah, it will be NG plus, but this will be just any percent because we're not doing New Game Plus. Okay. Anyway.
So new game, no runs found.
Wow.
So this could very well be just
a straight world record. Okay, cool. Well, let's win, shall we?
All right, let's do it.
All right, so the first thing we've got to do, if I recall correctly, is these 8 switches here.
Go.
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 Go. Cat.
There we go.
Check. Oxygen.
So yeah, we just all we got to do here is just place our cursor in the middle, and it will activate all of these switches at the same time. Then we've got to go over to the left side, top right, to do the on-off switch, and then pull down. So essentially, we're basically doing all the prep checks to start the launch sequence for going into space. And it's again, more anxiety driving situations. So it feels so real that we're finally getting our first opportunity to go into space after all of the time that we've been learning and being a part of the WSA. That's now, because of the kind of situation that we're kind of being thrown into, we finally get our opportunity in our time. So,
Conditioning is a go.
Cat. Strong back retract.
strong back retract. Oh yeah, by the way, these things here, go slow. Don't go fast because that's slower.
Yeah, I think to my understanding, just the slider, the max speed of the slider is a fixed speed. So if you're just trying to crank back the mouse, you will not be able to Yeah, you have.
Exactly
It'll
that,
only take you so
exactly
far, so you have to kind of like go multiple. So just take it slow. It'll take its time, but you know it works.
Starting automatic ground launch sequencer.
Mm-hmm.
Sequencer is a go.
Sequencer is a go-go.
Cat,
I want it to be a yo-yo. Don't ask. Why is it not working? Excuse me? There we go.
Well, there we go.
That was like, I think I accidentally pressed F off it, which is why it didn't work.
orbiter access
That's all right.
Side dial.
Start auxiliary power
Here we go. So this is the left side dial, pull down, and... Oh, pfft. Was I wrong? Yes, I was. Anyway. So that was a time loss! Anyway.
The right side, bottom, right 4 columns.
Now is the left dial. I
you
read
go.
too far. Okay, there we go.
All
So
right.
now we've got to bring this down to 0. So we have 0 oxygen and bring it down.
Yes.
What's next? Left click
hold-
visor.
Hold S, left click visor.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, you got this.
I know what I'm doing, video game.
cap retracted.
There we go. Beanie
right.
cap retracted. I'm way ahead of you, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So now we are going to be doing this one here. Up it goes. Console top button, lever F. Okay, so it should be this one here. And then we're going to go here, down to that one. Yeah, you can hear everything starting to kick up now. Yep, here we go. So top right button here. Then we press F, left click, and then hold a W. That's the best routine that we can do. All right, we ready to go into space, everybody? Woo!
And we're off. Amazing.
Now, the nice thing about this as well is that, like, when you are to the peak of your journey into spaces at the same space at the same time, there's a point where you start to rotate and you get to have a real sort of like slow atmospheric turn of Earth. And every time I see it, I always get shivers just because it's a beautiful sight.
Oh yeah, I think you're gonna love it.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be amazing.
except when you're just like your jetpack suited into space and it's like, okay, now I'm comfortable.
Yeah, you're just gonna go. Yeah.
Right, whilst we're going into space, I think we've got time for a donation.
Okay, lovely. Did I hear a second ago that you said the world record for this category is free?
Yeah, basically.
Do you know what isn't free? Alzheimer research.
Exactly.
Here we have a $10 donation from Cosme Ironic, who says, here is $5 for each chew in Choo Choo.
Thanks, buddy.
Let's keep the donation train going. Rock
Yes.
on, Nico. Thank you very much.
So yeah, tickets to your donation train, $5 per chew.
Just don't.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you're having bubblegum, then you got a lot of chew. Shut up, Nick.
Yeah, so $250 for a free bubblegum.
Yeah, basically.
$250 free. Yes, I'm good at English. Anyway,
And I'm good at understanding where am I?
you are on a rocket to Mars.
No, I'm at ESA Marathon and I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Whoops. Oopsie doopsie.
easy world record that we can beat. Of course. Anyway.
Should probably also mention that we have Hotspot in chat giving good luck from your friends at Kaioken.
Hey, good to see you, Kyoken. Hello, guys. So again, Kyoken, thank you again for making such a marvelous sequel to the whole Deliver Us family of games and Deliver Us Free when? Deliver Us the Earth, maybe? I don't know. You'll see what I mean when we get towards the end of like why I say maybe. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I don't know why I did that.
It's alright.
But no, this shot here, if you look at this like in detail as well, you can see that like the Earth is more brown than it should be. It's more dirt-based. It's more just like there's no real life that looks like it's existing on it right now. This is the current state in the game that Earth is in. Again, the CO2 is rising. Oxygen levels are low. And this is our mission to save Earth. Hopefully, but we're more interested in the potential for trying to find our dad, basically, because and getting that whole transmission that came through as well, because of that one little moon bear bit, and knowing that it came from Project Outwards, there's a potential that we may be able to find him. See, I got it this time. There we go.
There we go.
I learned my lessons.
Woo!
Wee.
And now it's just us.
I love that. I love this, like, this 180-degree turn. You can just see the way that the spaceship is automatically working its way towards being more stable for us and, like, you know, starting to engage all the internal gravity and just everything's happening. And then as it slowly turns down, it's just that look of the sun beaming over the Earth as well. Just that little glitter of glow. It's so beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It is so damn beautiful.
So good. So good. Oh.
All right, and I think we're going into the next chapter, which is going to be chapter 2. Was it 1 or 2?
It says here 74. No, it's 2.
Oh, yeah, so this will be chapter 2 now because you want to go into space, everybody? Well, you got to pay. You got to donate $5 to Alzheimer's Fund. That's how much you can. That's how much you can donate to go to space, of course.
$5 donation train to space. Let's go.
Exactly. So here comes another out of bounds strat. It's funny because like when I showed this off to Kyokin at one point, they were in my chat watching this game, being kind of broken at times. Like we found a few little spots that even they were like, oh yeah, we should have put collision there. Oops.
Yes.
So right now, we get occasional flashbacks to our child as well of kind of like the progress and the process of Isaac trying to teach us to become a space cadet or like working for the WSA, like the rigorous training that they put us through. So we're now just going scuba diving, but this is a little bit further away from our house, and there's actually like going to be a little bit of a space shuttle over this way as well. Right, here comes the collision point, so we want to just hide around in here, then hold control to swim downwards. And unfortunately, that can happen where we go back inbound, so we want to try and do the setup again. In we go. Nicely done. And there's just a little bit of a window here that we can just go through.
There you go.
And here's the out of bounds.
Nice.
And just look how pretty it is. So we'd want to keep on going down towards that little kelp, just where our right hand is. And from there, we can actually get ourselves back inbounds. And this will be like basically after we've done a whole sequence of going out into space, trying to fix debris that's hit one of the thrusters, and then we kind of like, get, once we come back into the shuttle, we get back into this section here that we're going into now. I think I did write up a little bit more about all the cutscenes and the lore that we skipped, so Paul, this would be a great time.
Absolutely. So in cutscene, Claire shows us a view of the Earth, tells us a bit about what the mission is, and how we are all here for a purpose to do good for Earth. And now we're having this flashback here to when we were a kid with this Isaac scuba diving a bit further than the house, whilst training us to be a space cadet / pilot. So we've done the strat here, and so in the half of the game that we skipped, with all of the clips, we end up doing repairs for a bit of debris that hit one of the thrusters of the spaceship. But as we're swimming through here, we see the wreckage of a cockpit of a shuttle that landed back on Earth. Kathy tries to play around with the console of it, which shuts her in, and it shakes to a point where it falls down further into the seabed where they are, thus transitioning back to adult Kathy, where it appears it seems like she had a nightmare.
Yep, we'll be getting to that in just a second. Here is the console that was mentioned, and we're like, beep, boop, beep, beep, boop, beep. Oh, this is fun. Wait a second. So all we need to do is hit this
shiny.
lever. Literally, she says beep, beep as well. So. Help. Help.
Oh.
And you can see the way that the shuttle's moving, which means that it's starting to fall down a little bit.
Please help me.
There it goes. You're scared. Hi, scared. I'm Nikoheart. Anyway, sorry, I had to.
Oh yeah.
So that the kind of the call out, the Kathy bit happens quite a few times during the game as well. There's one really iconic bit when it goes into, I think it's chapter 8, where when they're calling out, it switches from one person to another to then Isaac's voice. It's a very powerful cutscene change. I'll show you guys a little bit later on when we get through this, but when I first experienced that, I just kind of went, oh. The only thing you need to do right here is just stay still, because you're going to be brought into another cutscene, basically, or like a cutscene a scripted sequence where you're going to be brought visually to that point there. And whilst sometimes you can just like, you know, go from like this slow turning to just like quick turning, it, like, I don't know, it's transitional. But anyway, this is our first experience of actually going into space to, again, fix the thrusters. But this time, instead of fixing debris in the thruster is just straight faulting. So we need to remove the thruster from the spaceship for the ability to be able to actually, you know, maybe get to Mars safely. Now, if you're a little bit afraid of heights, this is far up into space, so yeah. This is now a point where we've got to look at the thruster and be like, yep, not good. So we got to try to shut the power off. Unfortunately, this electricity box is also like, yeah, I'm not going to help you out either. So we got to straight cut the power line to the box to then start to remove the thruster, and then something happens. I don't want to spoil it too much yet for those who haven't seen the game. So you'll see what happens. But this can be a little bit of a tough thing to do because you've got to try and find the best order of operation. There's two of the little circle things that we do need to cover. Go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. Leave. There we go. We knocked it away. So the first thing we could do is cut these two. And then what I like to do is I like to cut all of these away, so that we can get them better, easy access to all of the ones that we need to cut off. So there we go. There's that one. Okay, there we go.
Lovely.
Now we can start. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Minding out the other things because those things can explode and hurt us. We don't want that to happen. Okay, here we go. And when you cut the right amount of them, then it will go boom.
Kaboof.
This is bad, by the way. I mean, it looked like it was like, boom, yay! No, this is bad because it's basically sent us flying into space and actually cracking our shield, or in the process of cracking our shield. So as we are desperately trying to right ourselves in our position, we got to try to get back to the spaceship in the limited amount of time of oxygen that we entail as well, because not only is it cracking our helmets, our oxygen pack is also depleting. It's a scary time. Get back to the spaceship, Kathy! You've only got like 15 seconds. Yep, you can see the top.
Boy.
You can even hear it, like, you know. That like it's just like, oh no.
Oh boy.
The voice acting for this game I absolutely love as well. There's an amazing cast for this as well. Like,
Oh yeah.
like some people who have been in Resident Evil Village, I believe, as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Fascinating.
All right,
Right.
and hit the button. Push the button. There we go. Yes. Now,
Whew.
we're going back to our childhood again. So in these kind of like interims as well, it wants to kind of like, you know, instead of it being like so high anxiety stuff like that, we want to like kind of like, you know, the ebb and flow of our emotional states and kind of like to set us into a bit more point of understanding all the process, like the situations that transpired in that 10 years. So right now we are at a point of being with Isaac, Claire, and Kathy. And this is more teaching for us for the Space Cadets than being part of the Space Academy. Claire's going to be looking over the gorgeous mountain views for a moment, just kind of like reflecting. And Isaac is going to continue to carry us through. Right, shall we talk a little bit about the lore for this point?
Yes, I believe, well, Earth is slowly starting to become a damaged environment, as they mentioned that everything is not once as beautiful as it was, and it's impossible for it to be the same way again. They start to reminisce about Mum and the reason why they got together, and in a cutscene that we skip, we then get pickaxes to start the training for being able to learn how to climb. Claire is very dismayed by all this, as she thinks Isaac is very in denial, but pretends everything is fine. Shall I continue?
I think we're good for that point because, like I say, the climbing part is just over here as well. And we get like a nice little like, haha, I spilled my drink on the mother, and then that's our chat-up line, basically.
Nice.
That was a bad idea.
Here we go. You know, I'm just going to let them speak. Okay, thanks, Claire.
What happened?
Here we go.
I hit her drink out of her hands as I was flailing about like a lunatic. Then a piece of the broken glass got lodged in her leg. Then there was blood everywhere, and then we had to go to the emergency room.
What a nice first date.
Needless to say,
Aye.
I won't dance again until our wedding day.
But, psh, anyway.
Why did Mummy fall in love with you then?
I really have no idea, darling.
Thanks, Claire. No, we're just getting launched by Claire as well in the process of this. And again, the scripting for this game I adore as well. Just little comedic values here and there. So
Just roasted completely.
yeah, he's self-roasted himself technically, didn't he? So now that
Dad.
Glad this is all still here. Claire and I used to come climbing here all the time.
Why didn't I get to go?
Well, you were a bit too young for that.
yeah, you're finally at an age where you have upper body strength. So now it's time for you to get that upper body strength through these pickaxes. So this is going to be these pickaxes here are kind of like the bane of the run for where runs can go to fail, because there's one particular part in mission 5 or 6 or something like this where I've constantly always just fell, and it's just I can never find a way to just do it in one go. So if I get it today, then happy days. You can fall down there without dying. We should also talk about this point for the kill plane as well. So if you fall a specific amount of time, when it hits the point of your vision being red, you are going to die no matter what. You could be kind of like protecting your fall a little bit, so like, you know, just like, you know, hovering for a little bit. As soon as you reach solid ground, then you just go, there! So there's one point where I did that, where I actually, where I was held, like I was hovering on the ground for about 30 seconds. I then eventually got to solid ground. It's like, oh, okay, I'm dead.
Oh, okay.
It's just like, you know, you're just like acrobatically flying for a little bit in.
Yeah.
So right now, Claire is kind of just like, you're doing too much. You are mistreating Kathy. Why are you trying to like put like so much pressure on Kathy, trying to like, you know, make her do all this sort of stuff, like, and for what, basically? Yeah, because, you know, Isaac is like, you know, the world is not going well at the moment, and if we want to survive, we've all got to be in the right position of life and ability to, you know, to combat everything. And the best way to do it is to be a space cadet to get out off of Mars, basically.
Yeah.
That is Isaac's kind of like main agenda, is that like Earth is going to be a place that, you know, it should be abandoned, basically, in his mindset. So why not get everyone trained and ready to go to another planet and just live there?
Yeah, straight up.
I mean, thanks, Isaac. What about our opinions and feelings? Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Did I write anything else about this bit? I think I did. So did you want to check the lore?
Yeah, you more or less covered everything here. So,
perfect.
yeah, Claire storms off and leaves Isaac to try to pretend everything is okay and preps her for tomorrow's big exam. And with that, chapter 3.
Right,
So,
Sarah,
in a cutscene we skip, Claire watches over us as we sleep to a floating moon bear, Isaac's toy he gifted us as a kid, which we smuggled on board. Claire talks with us, trying to reason with us to see how Isaac wasn't good people, and he had endangered lives, but he still have a lot of heart for him. He or we still have a lot of heart for him.
Yeah.
They settle their differences and continue on with the mission at hand as they start to approach Mars.
So what we're doing here right now is we're just holding W, which is bring us closer. We're using space and control to move up and down. It's very easy to get these bits confused keyboard-wise, so I just I've managed to do it, and
That was smooth.
easy peasy.
Yeah, that looked perfect. All the way through.
The claps for precision. Let's go. Oh, I could skip this. Okay. The only thing we're going to be doing now is going towards a point of decryption, because there's actually little holograms that, for some reason, our little companion robot is able to decipher. We find out more reasons about that why soon, and we'll talk about what the hologram that we're going to be skipping in a moment. But whilst we're making our way over, we've got time for some donations. Joshimus.
Lovely, thank you. I would just like to let you all know about happenings over on Stream 1.
Okay.
We have a brand new bonus incentive for the end of the marathon. For the penultimate run, I love that word and I got to say it, we're going to have a bonus 10k incentive for Benji running Super Mario 64 70 star right before the final relay.
Wow.
That would be amazing.
Oh,
So that is, I believe that has just opened over on Stream 1. So if you want to go donate to that, you can click. You can stay here and watch the stream.
Oh, yeah.
But just click the Stream 1 donate button.
Yep, exactly.
And let them know I sent you. Please let them know I sent you.
Yes, let them know Joshua sent you, or let them know Stream 2
Stream
sent
2
you.
sent you. Yeah.
Yes.
Deliver us Joshimus to this donation.
Yes.
So yeah, that's 10k for Super Mario 64 70-star run by Benji. It's the penultimate run. We're going to need to get a lot of donations in. There's not a lot of time left. So get donating if you want to see that. Thank you
Let me
very
check
much.
my bank account real quick. Yeah, I have 10k. Let me just...
Yeah. Thanks, Joshua. Right. So this is just a big pod of like big area of cryopods basically for where people have basically been stored here. So this is the perfect time for Policer to do a lot of lore explanations. This is the decryption. Now, when we do like a new game plus, this one here would already be decrypted. This would be the sign of a new game plus. Aside from that, we're going to be doing the decryption by kind of aligning ourselves into the right position. This can be a little bit of a pain sometimes. So let's see if we can get this quickly. Please. Please. There we go.
There it is.
All right. Time for some lore.
Oh, yes. So now we're here in the cryopods. Cryopods are people who were beneficial to Earth's survival. However, Director MacArthur tries to wake up everyone and divert them all to Mars to assist with Outward and rebuilding life there, as he claims Earth is a lost cause. So now we're back to the game, as it was where Nico is, and the more we explore, we found out that this arc is capable of producing up to 90% efficiency, which makes it more powerful than anything created on Earth. Which means that all this new technology and advancements have been kept hidden from the WSA and all of Earth.
Exactly. So you can see that, people in here had an agenda that they just want, again, just like Isaac wanted to abandon Earth, and it's just like, oh, wrong way. This way. So they've had the acceleration of technology and not shared with Earth, so it's kind of a bad situation that we're in. I forget which way that we need to turn, so we're going to bring ourselves over to this one here to open up this door, and there's a specific order we have to do here. So we're going to be cutting open these little down to the bottom. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so essentially what we're doing right now is that we're putting two beams on this one terminal here so that it kind of exchanges the way the power goes, and then we're going to be throwing over this MPT beam or microwave beam even to through the window so that then this door here opens, and then we got the final one to bring over to that little point there. Now you can hear when I'm trying to explain that poorly, but when you do a completed sequence of orders, you get that little swell of music, just that's when you know that you did good. Congratulations, basically. So now that we've opened up the way here, whilst we are exploring the Arc, was it Arc Labos? I think it is. I think I wrote that down, didn't I?
I believe, I don't see it here. Actually, Labos. This is Labos,
so,
yes.
Whilst we are exploring Arc Labos, though, and seeing how, it's been kind of quite advanced with technology as well. We've seen that obviously it is an abandoned place as well, that there's been some issues going down. You can tell by that hull breach over there. They've also disconnected the ability for it to send power, so that's kind of we're getting everything kind of prepped and ready again to send power, but once we've done that, they actually say don't do it yet because we don't know what may have happened, if that makes sense. Because there could be a point of I don't know, it could be manipulated to blow up, or hijacked in some sort of form. We don't know because it's just so eerily quiet. So we're just getting the power set up basically for that purpose. Now the next bit here that we're going to be doing is another sequence of orders to kind of reattach I think it's the micro batteries with the stream beams, I think it is.
Something of the sort. Let's see. So Kathy heads to restore the power to the Arc by connecting the microwave batteries to the macro receivers.
That's the one, yes.
There you go.
So what we're going to be doing, whilst there is a dialogue being played around here, we're going to be going around and, just try to open up the way to make our access to these connections just a little bit quicker, because we could be listening to the whole dialogue, but, these explosions are more important. Now, you can only take 2 hits of range, I think it is, because these are, if you get close to it, you will get hit with an electricity charge, but also the explosion of these batteries is a lot, so Okay, so we're going to open up this. We're going to go through here. We're going to turn on the lights. and open up this door as well. And then we're going to start doing the next few things. So we're going back to A to now plug in battery 1. And then we're going to go into B to 2, 3, then C, 4, 5, and all that jazz. Basically, we come back to A to then reattach 8. And it takes a bit of like a going around, you know, just unlocking the doors. So here we go.
Yeah.
Count it with me.
It's a little bit
Number 2.
All right.
Number 3. Sorry, what were you saying there?
Yeah, just a little bit of back and forth, basically, just trying to figure, get to each of the spots here.
I'm stupid.
Oh, there we go.
I thought I unlocked the door, but you know what? I just missed my opportunity. So, you see this one here?
Okay.
I didn't properly press F in it. So, F in the
All
chat,
right.
am I right?
Let's see it, chat. F.
Okay, there's 4. Now, the nice thing you can do as well is, like, as you're swinging around, you can just click left click on the right moment, and you can get just the perfect point of connection. It's always very, very satisfying when you do that as well. Thanks for the F, guys.
Now, donate $5 with the exact same thing. F.
Yeah.
F's in the donations. On stream 1. No.
No, not stream.
Okay.
There's no context otherwise, and we feel bad otherwise.
Do still tell them that stream 2 sent you.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can,
exactly.
Yeah,
we
sorry.
can get that incentive met.
Sorry to butt in as a quick update. I have been told that we can redirect Stream 2 donations to the incentive.
Hey.
So donate wherever you feel like.
Yeah.
Do what you want, yeah.
Joshua sent you to stream 2 where you can donate towards the incentive. Perfect.
Donate here and tell us that stream 2 sent you.
Yeah. All right, so we have done the connection points. We are good and groovy to go. And we're going to go back to the main, like at the main cockpit, the main terminal, just to kind of like get the diagnostics of what, you know, of our actions. We can see the power is starting to return and restore. So that like we can technically connect the converter to dish input online. And we're going to go around to look at the MPT dish area.
Let's check the MPT, Ayla.
Yeah, let's go check and see what happens.
All right.
Activating the MPT, except we're not going to be sending it right now. Like I say, it's just active, that's it. We don't want to like send it back to the surface because again, we don't want to send potentially bad power to Earth and then Earth go boom, basically. We don't want that. So we can just like head down this way, but we're going to be brought back into a cutscene for going back onto the Zephyr 3, which is the spaceship that we came up with in the first place, and our further descent to Mars. So, right, there's a few other things we've got to do here.
So I guess you could say this ship is delivering us to Mars. I tried.
So close! All right. I remember this bit. Do you want to talk about what's going down here right now, buddy? Because I'm going to be self-feeling so quick in this bit.
Kathy has just been called back to the spaceship so they can continue their descent to Mars. Unfortunately, the descent causes catastrophic damage to the ship, so they have to abandon. So yeah, this is Nico just throwing down a bunch of dials right now. So it is console button, bottom middle, console bottom middle, dial button, and left side. So currently doing this, putting in the right values. Further down, as they leave the cockpit, the area around them starts to fail as Kathy makes for bay door for the emergency exit. I will not continue any further.
You read the next bit like, oh yeah. So now we're going to be releasing the AAC. So again, there's 2 AACs, Ayla and Alex. Alex's is Sarah's, I believe. Yes. So obviously because we're able to, Sarah's able to take it with us. We're going to have both our ASCs down to Mars in a moment. Again, I don't want to spoil things too much yet, but now we have been ejected out of our seat. Ejected out of our seat. We've done all the things that we need to do to prep our descent over to Mars.
Yeah.
No matter what side you go on, it's going to try to force you to go to the other side.
Yeah,
and here's the emergency bay doors that we need to get to head down. It's going very, very slow. So it seems like there might be an issue with these doors. Into the emergency shuttle we go. You can see Sarah and Ryan over the other side, ready into the door. Oh, I should skip this. I was so focused on the cutscene there. So they've been sent down already, and you can see that the door is shut, but not looking too great. Claire's on board. And
as I read here, Claire is too late to get to the door, and it starts to close in front of her. but gets stuck in the process. So Claire sacrifices herself to shut the door so that Kathy can escape. Then, sadly, the spaceship explodes with her on it. With Kathy in true emotional dismay and anguish, she's slowly falling down towards Mars. The emergency escape pod tries to issue instructions for a safe landing, but it still goes a bit pear-shaped, where we do, in fact, crash land.
By the way, you don't need to do anything here. It's just the same amount of speed.
Yeah.
So, I feel like essentially it's just like, you know, the fast descent and climb down. You can see it's trying to say like, hey, deploy the parachute again. It's going to auto deploy for us even if we don't do anything. I haven't actually tried to see which is faster, but I just don't do anything because it's easier that way.
Yeah.
So once we crash land, we're going to be kind of like, you know, just a little bit, you know, just a little bit shook up. We're still quite emotional at the same time, but, you know, our first objective is because whilst we have crash landed, our oxygen is still, like, you know, depleting and stuff like that. We're going to just try and find somewhere, anywhere that can revive, we can replenish our oxygen and, you know, try to survive, basically. It's so much emotion in voice acting. I love this, honestly. Thankfully, it was safe enough. I lied about that, sorry. So, now would be a perfect time for donations because the only thing we're going to be doing is walking over to there.
I love walking over there. Okay.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
We got a $5 donation from Chrissy G4 who says F.
Thank you.
All
right.
Did I do this right? That's what they said. Yeah.
Very good work. Very good
I
work.
think you did. Thank you for the F.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, keep the $5 donation train coming.
Yes, and once again, all of these are going towards, first of all, the bonus run at the end of the stream, and of course, the 80K milestone. So, yeah. F's in the chat and F's in the donations once again.
Like, look at that. We are just about to cross over 71,000.
$71,000. Let's go.
The moment I look up as well, that's perfect.
Yeah,
timing.
amazing. Love to see it.
71,000 is absolutely fantastic. Though that is less than $9,000 to go for the Milestone Madness. That is amazing. Thank you very much to everybody for all of your fantastic donations this marathon. It has always been a pleasure to be a part of ESA Marathon and being able to showcase again wacky, crazy runs like the camera controller run. Just that was the meme team.
Yeah.
Jesus, please.
For you, it was the camera controller run. For me, it was the pedestrian with hot sauce.
And the PB.
Oh, yes, the 2-minute PB, which was insane. Some people say it was the hot sauce. I say it was the mouse. Which, by the way, exclamation mark glorious in chat if you want speedrun PBs with your mouse.
All right, so with all of those fun little plugs there, we are now continuing to gain a little bit more energy, a bit more speed, up until a point where we can overview the vastness of the planet we just landed on, and we were delivered to, which is Mars. And as the camera starts to pan,
Ryan, please come in if
you can actually start to see a few of the arcs on here already.
And yes,
and it's kind of nerve-wracking because how did they get these arcs here in the first place? How did how long has humanity's been surviving on this planet in the first place? What have they been doing? How long has this been happening for, basically? And Sarah and Ryan also crash landed somewhere else. We don't know where they are right now, but we got to try to reestablish communication with them somehow, in some form. But again, as we mentioned, it's a nice place to live, sure, but again, the important thing is that, as you can see on our backpack, we've got a flashing red sign. That means we've got about maybe 5% of oxygen left. And you can see our vision is starting to blur. This is not a good moment. It's not a good sign. So we just need to run somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere that may have oxygen. And it's kind of thanks, Mars, for giving us oxygen. But wait a second, there's a building over there.
Yeah, deliver us oxygen, Mars. How about you do that, huh?
That was a good one.
Yeah.
So as we're going in, look at our backpack. Immediately regenerated oxygen. And it's just, yeah, it's like even Kathy's confused because, you know, they've only just got here and they didn't know like Mars had been like inhabited by I guess humans for a long time. And as we go into this doorway, we see a giant quarry, excavated. You know, like the pathways built within the excavation. There's like loads of buildings. There's just a lot going on right now. And how, why, what, when, what's going on? We don't know. There we go. Do you want to talk a little bit more about the lore? I think I wrote some stuff here as well.
All right. Yeah, let me see if I can find the right point. Yeah. The Ancestors Radiation is built into a huge quarry, which looks like it's been worked on for years, full of excavation and building equipment for what looks like there are plans to build a civilization in this location. However, our aim is still to head towards the Ark in hopes of finding civilization and our father. The lore of what we skip in this section, I believe that's the, is that Isaac says coming to Mars was a mistake and needs to go back to Earth for Kathy. But MacArthur expresses to him that he will be held as a criminal, tried and imprisoned, essentially guilt-tripping him to continue to stay and build more of the science and structure for Outward and its civilization on Mars.
Before we continue, I'm going to be doing the next strat here, which is basically going to be jumping around the way. Now, that's another sign of the red, so you got to be careful where you're jumping. So to skip a good portion of this bit, we're going to be jumping at very specific points here. So let's see if I can get it first try.
Let's see.
Okay.
Nice.
It's going good so far. Okay, that's fine. This is savable. Okay, and easy clap first try. Hey.
Let us up.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, there we go.
All right. Good effort. Very nice. Very nice.
Okay, so that skips like so much going around, so much I think it saves about 5 minutes altogether as well, and we can go in this little gap here and then just jump further up to get on top of the building onto the other side of what like is the a normal way around, and it's so easy to fall off there as well. So I'm glad we got that first try.
Weren't we just at 71,000?
Yeah, we were.
What?
Whoa.
Oh goodness me! Stream 1 is popping off. I think. Wow.
GG to everybody who is donating. Thank you, everyone, for, again, donating towards the cause. God damn.
Yeah.
Right, we've been introduced a new, device for the, the stream beams, which is basically a diffuser or...
Multiple beams.
Hold on.
Resistor.
There we go. You can tell you did it right when the camera kind of locks.
Okay, that looks good.
And that, yeah, that looks good.
The door is not working.
The door is not dooring.
That looks good.
Ha!
That looks good. That also looks
Now the door is working. That's never happened before. I'm not even kidding. Like
La door worked. What?
the door, I get it.
Hey.
Now, I like to call this bit the usher beam. Don't ask me why. I'm going to tell you why. Listen to the two notes. Boop, boop. Doot, 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 doot.
Okay.
I said this to Kyoko, and I'm just like, now we can't unhear it. Thanks, Nico.
Yeah.
And it's like the same tones that were in Deliver Us the Moon, and it took Deliver Us the Mars and my idiocy to hear an unhearable thing of the game now. So I can't. Why do I always do this? I don't know. But no, what we just did there is like, obviously now that we kind of reissued power to the point of the MPT beams, we're now issuing power from there to the elevator. So now the elevator has power to work, basically. So it's time to get up to those vehicles that we saw right up to the point of the free look points, as I just call them the free looks. Now, if you press F a few times here, this might duplicate. Wow, that's the first time I've seen this thing actually not duplicate. I don't know why. Sometimes like it's just like I think it's like if you go too fast or
the game not bugging out.
We say that for every game, am I right? It's not just specifically this.
As a game dev, sometimes that feels like a miracle.
That's true. But what was as well? Like I think it's depending on what like computer you have. Like if you got a very like good PC, sometimes. There we go. So things aren't looking too hot here. Like we almost reached our destination, but we've got to run and jump in a second because otherwise the elevator might fall. So here we. Oh, boy.
oi.
Oh, yeah, hey, oh.
Hey.
So the best way you need to do this is you need to hold left and right as you jump out, and that will automatically, like, latch you on to the stone wall. Now, again, these bits are a bit of a pain, so I do have to put a tiny bit of focus in because the last thing we want to do is die and go back to a checkpoint. Let's see if we can save 3 seconds by doing this. Nope.
Oh.
Nah, we can jump at that little ledge just to the left, and that can save, like, falling down onto the elevator. If I lined myself up a little bit better, then it would have been fine, but it's okay. So now we've got more climbings up to do. So Joshua, if you got any messages, like, now would be a good time to say things.
All right, I'll say some things. So yeah, we do have that big 10K donation, which, yes, as you pointed out, probably has about 1,000 gone to it already.
Yeah.
Over on the stream 1. So yeah, 10K for the bonus SM64 70-star run right before the final massive Vita relay run. But if that wasn't enough motivation, we also have the milestone. You know, if you want to help Paulister have another crack at trying to beat our HUDs at the old milestones. Once we get to 80K, we'll unlock those as well. But if that wasn't enough motivation, have you heard of prizes.esamarathon.com? If you head over there, you can look at our wonderful list of prizes that if you donate this event, you can be entered to win. So all of your donations from all of the event will be cumulatively together used as a total for all of these prizes. If you donate $250 over the course of the event, you'll be in the running for a custom ESA PlayStation 5.
Ooh.
Another one for $250 is the Tears of a Kingdom Switch that is available.
Further ooh.
Yeah, these are all very fancy, and we also have a DualSense Edge PS5 controller for $100. But you know, maybe that's a bit rich for your blood. We also have plenty of smaller ones. We have a Sonic Squid Squish.
Squishmallows, yeah.
Mallow, yeah, what? I don't even know what that is, but it looks adorable. It's like a little Sonic. You'd have to just go to prizes.esa Marathon to see the picture yourself. It's a $15 donation minimum. There's also a Knuckles one. But yeah, we have tons of stuff. Do I need to keep stalling? We good?
I know we're good.
Okay, excellent. Head to prizes.esamarathon.com to see what you can win for your donations. And yeah,
thank you so much,
please
Josh.
get them in.
Right, we got a bit of lore to catch up as well, so Paul, please take it away for a little bit, yeah?
All right. Let me see if I can... Okay, so once Kathy gets into the rover, is this where we are?
Yep.
She tries to reestablish communication with Sarah and Ryan, to be greeted with no response. And she stays in the rover for a while, finally realizing her emotions after the events that happened on the spaceship and her sister, in which we're also greeted with another flashback, which we can hear our sister calling out for us to go snorkeling again, for her apparition to fade off into the distance on the pier. Then we can hear Isaac calling out for Liz, the mother, leading up to the point of what looks like a barn. In the cutscene we skip, Isaac is trying to grant temporary guardianship to Claire so that Isaac can leave to go to the moon. Essentially the events which transpired in Deliver Us the Moon. So I believe after that, we are now on Chapter 5.
That is correct. So we, after, like, waking up after the flashback and, like, you know, then starting our journey towards the continuation of going towards the Ark, we get to a point where, like, it's night and, hey, we got back in touch with Sarah and Ryan. Happy days, let's go. So they're already on the Ark. They've explored a little bit. Obviously, because of the, the fall and the crash landing that all of us have had, Sarah's had some prior wounds, which Isaac had actually inflicted on her from Deliver Us the Moon. I won't spoil that too much, but go play Deliver Us the Moon if you haven't already so you can understand what wounds they are and stuff like that as well. But basically, they've been reopened a little bit from the damage and the crash landing. So whilst we're also kind of like trying to navigate around and look what's going in the Ark at the same time, we're also trying to like tend towards Sarah, even though Sarah doesn't really like us too much, you know, so it's just like, you know, there's so many things going on, but Ryan is the one staple, the one true at the moment that like tries to keep everything afloat and the emotions at bay, and everybody somewhat happy.
Yeah, to the best of their abilities, because you know when you're out in space and there's only 3 of you. Yeah.
God, why have I only just thought it? And I'm sending to outer space. A smile across your face. Why have I only just thought about that song? Like, that's a banger anyway.
That's a banger. Yeah, as an aside, actually, I do believe HUDs did raid us just a moment ago. with everybody just kind of going crazy.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much for raiding the ESA Marathon 2, the secondary channel of the pinnacle of European speedrunning assemblies. I mean, the speedrunning.
Yes.
Yes.
We're trying to raise $80,000 for Milestone Madness, the last one of the stream, and also to meet the $10,000 bonus run incentive that's going to be happening on stream 1. So, if you have any donations, now's the time to do so. Now's the time to throw them out because, after tonight, the only thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be enjoying your DJ set, Nico.
Have we even has it even been fully announced on the streams and stuff like that? I don't know.
We are announcing it now. Nico is doing a DJ set. I'm taking the full liberty here.
You are the responsible one. How could you? TLDR in a marathon on stream 1. Anyway.
Yes.
I won't say too much more. I don't want to give too much of a surprise, but there's going to be some cool musics going. And we're talking about the do. That kind of music, you know, like in an elevator, of course. It's just going to be elevator music for like an hour. Don't ask me why I'm like this anyway. So now we've been introduced like splitters of this. So we want to try to get one beam over to there, which is going to open up the door underneath. We can get Ayla to go underneath, and we can go get a second splitter that's held within here. Once we've done that, we can take this out, and we can put this here. We can press C to get out of Ayla. We can also go then get the beam, put it into the first one, then we can put the beam from the first one into the second one. Also splitting the first one over to this one here, which needs 2, 1 over here. Then we can let go of this, and then we can put the beam over to there, and then we're done.
Yeah.
Did everybody catch that? I didn't. I hope I did it right.
Hey,
I did it right. Yeah, let's go.
Hey, Nico, Argit Gold, he wants his commentary style back?
Anyway, hi, Argik. Okay. Well, just for that, why don't you catch up with the law and take over for a while?
All right. So, yeah. Upon catching up with Ryan again, we need to look for medicine to aid Sarah's wounds. Whilst wandering around, we start to notice more bad situations MacArthur was responsible for, which is makeshift holding cells to imprison crewmates. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, meaning that the utopia that he was wanting to build was not going his way, and people were becoming rebellious to a point of violence, stealing, etc., etc., etc. All right, now we're gonna, I believe in a moment, we're gonna be doing a little bit of a strat.
Oh God, what's going on now? Oh, by the way, thank you for dealing with my writing style.
I mean, it seemed pretty good.
Thank
all
you.
things considered, yeah.
At times. So, as we did mention about like the still like the parts of the imprisonment and everything, this is a whole bit here. You can see like a makeshift prison on this arc, and it's just like it's very telling, very revealing about like that you think like humanity would try to strive together to survive, but it doesn't work as easily as that. And it's
Why would they do this to each other?
yeah, that is a good point. But oh yeah, so this is a trap. Thank you for reminding me.
There you go.
So this is fun.
Maybe.
What we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting Isla to go and get this little diffuser bit towards the doorway. Once we do that, we can then bring it over closer to the door to a point where like it's like, you know, it's just coming through the side of the door panel. Oh, wait, let me just get there. Okay, so we're going to get out of the perspective Isla, and we're going to take this diffuser through the door. Then we're going to turn around. We're going to place it down. And in doing that, it will spawn us all the way on the top. We're going to jump a little bit to here where there's an invisible platform, run, and then jump, and we save about like a great few minutes there. That was perfect first try.
Lovely
Let's go.
Lovely work.
Like when we found that, we just found like just a random like platform there. And we just kind of like jumped off. It's like, wait a second, this saves a great amount of time. So, and that's like that's a very like unique strat as well because it does. We do something similar to it later on, but instead of like like grabbing it through a door, we just grab it whilst the door is open with Isla and is able to like take it through. You'll see what I mean in a second. Now I need concentration on this bit because I hate this section so much. You can easily fall off here like that.
Yeah. Oh.
I told you.
Whee! Oh. Donk.
And
Love
that's why I dislike this section here because you make one doink and you fall continuously and lose time. So this run is now beatable. I nearly did it again. Anyway.
Very close. Yeah, see, these hooks are very, you just gotta make sure you maneuver them to a spot that is, that, I guess, what's the name I'm looking for? What's the tool? hook, I guess, or the things that...
Pickaxe.
Pickaxe, oh yes.
Like, here's the thing as well. As you're trying to, like, navigate your way as well, the hook can kind of change its placement as you're trying to, like, you know, go into a position. And it's just like that change of position can really mess with you a little bit. So it's just... At least I've got to prove why I dislike it. It's just that one wall. Literally just that one wall. Anyway, that's my personal grief. Anyway, I've combated it. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Yes.
Get on top of here. We're going to continue to make our way upwards because we're trying to reestablish power towards the elevator, which is going to take us further up to, like, you know, to the main, like, terminal area of this whole arc. So here we go. Power reestablish and cutscene skip. And right, there's a point that we can kind of just talk about what this whole big ass orb is, basically.
Green contraption. Yes. So as we look around in the area of the engine, which is what this is, we discover that it's capable of restoring Earth's atmosphere. Suddenly, there's reading of increased oxygen levels in a nearby area. So their next mission is to investigate to see if we can actually find civilization. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. Just kind of.
Does anyone know why this water looks so...
Blue. Exactly. I know what color it is. It looks magenta. Come on now.
Yes. My
yeah,
favorite color, brown.
Sure.
Well, they just said why this water looks brown. That's not the right kind of water. That's poo water. Paulista! Of all the colours you could have picked, man.
Yeah.
But no, at the same time, you're right there. Like, at the same time, we're still trying to find, like, you know, the right medicinal purposes for Sarah. Again, the wounds are open. We need to get to the pharmacy. And again, the pharmacy is going to be around, like, you know, once we can actually open up the, you know, distribute more power to the arc, then more areas will start to open up again. We are at a bit of limitation for, you know, what's going on right now. So by being able to like figure out exactly what is happening in the engine, we might just be able to think like, okay, so if I do my analysis for the terminal, maybe more power can be redistributed and we can actually even find people again because, you know, maybe the power was able to amplify the, you know, the antennas and stuff like that. You never know. So this is just our looking session at the moment. Did I write anything else down?
Over here, I think it's just something for like a cutscene skip and just.
Yeah.
Do you want me to? Read
Yeah, because we're going to be doing that very shortly as well. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, in a cutscene skip, we overhear Sarah and Ryan talking about bringing some time.
Something. Sorry.
Something. Yeah. So once again, time to investigate. So this is what we're going to do in just a moment. Here comes Isla to the rescue. We're going to be doing a little bit of sus work over here.
So you remember like how in Chapter 1 we used Isla to be able to peer into that whole conversation to basically say like, hey, like, you know, I'm actually capable of like, you know, being, you know, to be taken onto this mission because I now know everything because I used Isla to peer in. Just basically the same thing as Chapter 1. Except for this time it's a bit more of a harrowing situation. So it's, they brought guns.
Air.
Yeah. And obviously the purpose of, again, going to Mars in the first place was, you know, trying to find Isaac and outward. And now their ulterior motive is to bring, to coerce Isaac to come with them. And if we could zoom in right now, we could go peacefully.
What do you think is going to happen?
Peacefully. Yeah. So I don't think it's that peaceful, but it's... That's kind of like their plan B, if that makes sense. And if they can't coerce them to come peacefully, then... Anyway, so... Yeah, so at least we now kind of like are knowledge in what they're trying to do. We want to combat them so that they don't have to resort to a plan B or even having to use guns in the first place. So we actually get rid of them like a little bit later on as well. And we can just... I kind of not like I wouldn't say conspiring against them, but you know we're trying to almost like protect our father in the whole process at the same time. Okay, so we can just press C to go back. We can skip the cutscene, and now we're going into Chapter 5.
6.
6.
Yeah.
I can read Roman numerals. which is where we get to skip an entire chapter. So whilst we are going to, before we do that, we should talk a lot of lore about this, and I think I wrote a great little bit about this, so just spur it off, let's go.
All right. We are now en route, on our own, to where the increased oxygen levels were found. And yes, this is actually snow, which is found in the coldest extremes of Mars. We did research, we found out about this. Disobeying Sarah, we find it upon ourselves to potentially see if we can find Isaac there. Here, we'll be doing a cutscene skip. So let's cover everything we're going to skip. Fit in as much as possible, no stress if we miss bits. In the area with the oxygen is a bioprinter, essentially something that can create life from the fauna and flora, which is also mutated forms of plants. Isaac and Rosa, after creating the bioprinter, are merry and drinking, reminiscing on life back on Earth. Also discussing that because of the mutated printed plants, they're also unable to feed everyone and are slowly consuming all the remaining rations. The division within the people are also forming another group called Homeward, people on a mission to return to Earth, also rising against Outward. You can probably tell the contrast there. Isaac reflects on his bad decisions on leaving Kathy and his family behind. Rosa comforts him and tried to keep him positive. Further towards the buildings, we also find out that Homeward had planted a bomb to destroy the buildings, to destroy the production lines, creating the mutated life. MacArthur confronts Rosa to get them to call off any future happenings. However, she refuses because she thinks MacArthur is losing his way and he needs to face his own repercussions. Another cutscene also indicates the mutation from the bioprinter was a human error, as they didn't catch it in time, making the yield unsalvageable for sustaining life, which also shows MacArthur's further degradation of the mind to a point of essentially accusing everyone else as the point of failure, but not him, and asks Isaac to choose a side, homeward or outward.
Right. Here we go. So this is the cutscene skip, the start. We need to... Oh, okay. So that is a very pixel perfect point that you have to land, and you have to do it in such a specific way so that you don't incur fall damage. So here we go. Lovely stuff. So that is the pixel perfect fall. It's not over yet. So what we need to do is we need to get up around the side this way and jump carefully around. Jump carefully around the side to land on here. Not over yet. We need to get down again without taking fall damage by holding ourselves into this one here, going to this one here, and we're going to be falling down again. Kind of falling down on the side, and now we're out of bounds, making our way towards the final checkpoint trigger, which will then just end the cutscene.
Making our way.
That is a very, very hard strat to do. That pixel perfect fall is not easy. So once we've done the... it's funny because, this is a maybe 11 or 12 minute mission. And we could do this in, 2.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's a huge skip.
And we found this accidentally, because I went around the left side at one point just looking to see if I could find anything there. I found that pixel perfect fall, and then I was just wait a second. This cavern looks familiar. What if I just walk into it?
And sure enough,
chapter done.
Chapter 7. All right. So just to finish off the lore here, another flashback also reveals a huge contradiction to this, as Isaac proclaims that he doesn't give a damn about the Earth, that he wants the whole family to go to the moon. Claire is angered and enraged and tries to make Isaac see sense, but he's fixated on his goal and won't see sense, so she leaves. On the way back, communication is re-established between Sarah, Ryan, and Kathy. All that's left of the area of the bioprinter is overgrown weeds and half-dead plants. Chapter 7.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of lore to explain this as well. So this is why, we're doing a sort of a lore commentary read, because there is so much to remember for this. But again, it's a very, very beautiful game. I do urge people to try and play the Deliver Us series. Deliver Us the Moon is the first in the series. Deliver Us Mars is the sequel, the second in the series. Go give these games some love and support. Kyokin have made some very rich story, working with not just people who work in space, but actually with the ESA, which is not the CSA, the European Space Agency as well. So they've actually got more of an ability to understand the rhetoric, the knowledge, the scientific aspect of going into space, and all the G-force, for example. So they've actually done a lot of integration. Now, I'm glad that we didn't get the weirdness here, because Sarah can kind of get stuck behind her own bot, which means that she'll be just over there, and we have to kind of look over there to activate Sarah. So thankfully that this is all fine. There's no weirdness, there's no bugs, everything's fine. It might just be my PC. Because I mentioned about the fact that my PC's too good that duplicates things. It might be that.
I mean, to be fair, it did also happen in the practice room as well. So.
Maybe. So maybe what I just said was a big fat lie. I don't know.
Well, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
You can.
All right, so we got to do like 3 more look things, which is talking to Sarah, talking to Ryan. They're kind of like basically saying like, this is we're seeing a lot of like dead bodies because like they found some recognition of like human body, like the essence of a human body on the Ark, and they're just like, okay, we need to go investigate because even if they're not alive, we can still get some kind of understanding what's going on, and. As they're looking through, they've actually looked at the security drones, and they've been kind of altered and repurposed. And it's just like, why? What could have possibly happened? We don't know. So when we come across these bodies here, we can see that they were trying to barricade their own entrance, which means that they were trying to block things from coming in as well. And it's just, it's a very, very harrowing situation that they might have endured. We are going to be skipping a very major cutscene, which gives a lot of the kind of understanding of the what's happened here. So, Paula said this will be a good time to talk about like that cutscene that we skip.
Okay. So let me see if I can find. We've seen okay. The next room we enter, we've seen an immensity of bodies in which all suffered from suffocation, both homeward and outward.
I think there's just a little bit before that.
Yes. So, the way the security drones were positioned... No, we said that. On the other bodies, we see that it looks like they were trying to barricade the entrance to block their own escape, potentially from something trying to threaten their life and stop things from entering.
A lot of the bodies in this room here, so they've all encountered like a catastrophic situation, basically. Sorry, continue, buddy.
All right. So now we also find out that Isla has been specifically programmed to look at these holograms, which were left most likely by Isaac. So now all 3 of them see exactly the events that transpired, in which the division between MacArthur and Rosa caused Rosa and the Homewardians to reprogram the security drones, and all of them gang up to chase after MacArthur, to hold him in contempt, and to end his reign controlling and dictating everyone, which essentially leads to a civil war.
There we go, finally. Yeah, just you're all delusional. Like you can tell that, like that the tempers are flying, the opinions are flying. People are not cooperating. People are going against everybody. It's like basically again, humanity is starting to combat against each other, and it's basically everything that MacArthur wanted to leave off Earth. But it's kind of like still continuing on this way. And it's just like, why are things not going my way? Don't you worry. I've got a way to solve this solution. And that's basically to kill everybody off apart from him and his trusted people, which sounds a little bit like familiar at times, doesn't it? Okay, so what we're going to be doing from here is we're going to be engaging back to Isla. Isla's going to be now doing the thing I mentioned earlier on about being able to get these little diffusers through the door. So we want to kind of like keep this as close to the beam and to the door as possible. Get to the other side, bring it through, so that we can easily bring it down and like not have to do like a whole different setup to be able to actually get this. We're going to bring this into this green beam here. We're then going to go back around and change the position of this beam to the lower one so that there's another diffuser that we need to get. Perfect. And we're going to be bringing Isla down and around to go in. Move the position of this splitter so that it doesn't hit the diffuser to then open up this door to then grab the diffuser through. We're then going to be placing it in the way of this beam as well because this also needs just one power to go through. There's a swell, and there we go. We got like one more cutscene that we're going to be skipping. So, Paula said, did you want to talk about the cutscene we're going to be skipping here, which is actually another kind of like powerful one, actually.
In another decryption, we see Rosa started to take charge with the mission of they are all leaving to head back to Earth with all the Arks. And if Isaac wants to be on their side, he needs to go up to the Panopticon to tell MacArthur to turn Ark Labos back online to start the launch sequence for return to Earth.
In the process as well, unfortunately, because of MacArthur's actions, Rosa is suffocating because he turned off oxygen to everyone. Which means that, he is in that sort of like a power-hungry mindset of like, hey, if you're not on my side, you're gone. You're gone. And Rosa, who, has been kind of a voice of reason alongside both MacArthur and Isaac. Suffered the same fate as well, but in the same time as well, Rosa was also kind of in contempt as well because she was kind of, quotation marks, leading outward, homeward at the same time as well. So, you know, in the end, she was, you know, partially responsible for, you know, the whole division between outward and homeward. So it's not a good time. Now, here's where we get to do one of my favorite skips, and also one of the hardest skips possible. This is going to be called the back it up skip. You need to be very precise in how you do this because you need to get up. You need to basically reverse your vehicle in a kind of like a Halo 2 style, kind of like trying to get up into that big map, that one big map that you can get the tanks up on top of. We're doing a very sort of similar situation where we're going to be reversing our vehicle up to a point where we can get out of bounds onto a very solid platform to then go around to another point that we would skip having to do, putting the microwave batteries together, reestablishing the MPT power. And we get to skip all of that by doing this. So let's see if I can get the position correctly. So we want to go a little bit more forwards. This can make or break a run, and I'm being serious about that. Okay, so I want to come forward a little bit more. All right, let's give this a shot. Come on, can we get this first try? Come on, it's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking good. We want to get into that little metal solar panel there. That's a really good point to kind of swing us around. This is looking very good, and this is part one. Now we're going to go through this little section here, which is going to take us through. Now this we can't see at all, so we have to beeline our way through. Perfect. We are making our way through. Try not to fall down that little gap there. If you fall down that gap, you will not be able to recover, and you have to do it all over again. We're going around this little ledge of platform here that's solid enough that we can go through. We then need to... Oh, boy.
Oy.
That's fine. Nobody saw anything. We need to now park our car. So we're going to back it up, back it in. Let me begin and park the car just down here because it actually gives us a bit more of a leverage to jump over this whole bit. Okay, so...
And now we're going to jump around, jump up, and get down.
Nice past reference. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think we can still save it. Yep. Okay.
Yeesh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're fine.
That's
kind
never happened before. Okay.
It's not over yet.
Okay.
Not over
now,
yet.
this is where we can fail. All right,
there
we're through.
We go.
Okay, back it up, skip is good. There we go. Now, this can also potentially fail here, so I do need to be careful about my climb up here. Once we get through, it does auto-save. We haven't saved at all. So if I fail here, it's all the way back to the beginning of the chapter. So I don't want to fail this bit as well. Okay. This is looking okay.
Good stuff.
Good.
Last little bit.
And that is
there we
good.
go.
Okay, so
Nice.
back it up, skip is done. We've got ourselves to a checkpoint. That means that we are safe and ready to continue on with the chapter. That is a very, very nerve-wracking part of this run. Again, this is where runs can go to fail, they can die. You have to reset everything because you can lose so much time. You can fail to back it up, skip so many times. I'm glad I got this first try, so it feels good, apart from the little weird falling down bits. Right, whilst we are making our way up, Joshua, did you have any messages that you wanted to relay to us?
I will. In that case, I will reiterate about, if you haven't heard, it's breaking news. We have a 10k donation on on Stream 1 for a SM64
an incentive.
run.
What? You said donation. I was like, what?
Oh, no, sorry. 10k incentive. Yeah. It'd be great if we had a 10k donation.
That'd be amazing.
But yeah, we have a 10k incentive over there. I believe they're about $1,000 into that, so we need $9,000 more over there. Well, it would also get us across the 80k milestone for the next milestone madness coming up later in the marathon.
Why did I try that?
Oh, no.
Ay.
Technically, I could do that earlier on, and I could actually get myself to a point, but I was just like, oh yeah, I can do that, and now probably the bad idea. I'll show you in a second. You know what's funny earlier on? When I kind of accidentally fell a little bit. Sorry to cut you off there, Josh.
That's right, go on. Okay, you can, if you're going to cut me off, at least do that right.
Oh, the literal shape of John. Okay, so the first time you heard that little sort of like that swell, that's sort of like the death swell, let's call it the death swell. That was happening even though we had saved ourselves. So that was like a very sort of like a interesting perspective of audio. There we go. I managed to do that now. Let's see if we can do it again. There we go. There we go. That's what you can do. That's faster this time. Continue, Joshua, please.
Yes, thank you. So, yeah, if we meet that donation, we will have a bonus penultimate run before the marathon ends. So, to extend your ESA experience, because we are coming up to the end of the marathon here. If you didn't know, this is the last run of Stream 2. So, make sure when this is over, you all head on over to Stream 1 and see what goofiness is going there. But for now, you know, we can chill. We're almost at the end of this. Yeah, it's going good. We're on Mars. We're being delivered.
Yeah. Where's my Mars bar? I want my Mars bar!
But yeah, thank you all for your donations. Keep them coming in. And yeah, let's hit that 10K incentive.
Thank you, Josh Immerse. All right, so now that we're on the arc, similarly to what we did beforehand, we're going to be trying to like reinstigate power. But unfortunately, like, you know, the actual MPT dishes are misaligned. So we've got to try and go and realign them because there's debris in the way, you know, it's just it crash landed here, so we got to try to fix up, you know, just the fixer-upper, basically. Just like an arc fixer-upper, just a measly $1 million to fix it up and stuff like that. Easy peasy.
Kathy the Builder, can she fix it? Kathy the Builder.
No,
yes,
I'm broke. What? Okay, so once we've done these two sides here, we can make our way back into the main terminal and we can reinstigate it. It's trying to make us look at the animation of the power, like, you know, it's kind of like, you know, going back into its positioning. There's a little cutscene here which will be interesting to talk about. So once we've done the re-establishing of power, I'll get Paulista to talk about what cutscene we just skipped there, basically. Now, you can see that we are going to be reattaching the power to an antenna that's over that way. And that is going to be towards Arc Vita, I believe. Oh, no, is it Arc Vita? I think it might be. Boop, boop. Anyway.
All right. So,
please go ahead. Yeah.
All right. So now we've done the thing here. In a hologram we're going to skip, we find out that MacArthur is responsible for rigging the thrusters of the Arc Labos and also homeward tore a hole in the ship, which sent the people on board flying back down to Mars to their death. Yes, we connect the MPT dish to an antenna on Habitas. Then upon return, Kathy tries to catch up to Sarah and Ryan, and en route finds MacArthur's dead body.
For which we're going to be doing our next little out-of-bounds skip with Vila. Now, this strat here that we are going to be doing, we recently found the perfected setup a day before the button, please. Thank you very much. That didn't do anything. I know how to press a button. Thank you. We figured out the reason why you know, Isla's going to be coming towards a point at the doorway and being on the other side. For ages, we were figuring out that it had to be like very timely done. And during 1.0.0, we could actually just like, you know, do it on a like as soon as the timing is done. 1.1.0 kind of like actually went to a point of like respawning, you know, respawning Isla to its position. So we had to figure out another strat. So what we need to do basically is kind of be in a position where there's no objectives, like no objects in the way as Isla's trying to get back to our position here. Now you can see that's like, it didn't quite work out initially. We need to wait here. Wait for it. That's the sound. That's kind of an indication that, you know, Isla's basically trying to get back to our position. We're going to now, I think we, yeah, okay, so we're going to go to the main menu. This is not going to capture an RGT, so we'll see how that goes in a second. We're going to continue. And the reason we're doing this right now is that, like, when we go into this room, there should be a hologram that we need to decrypt. But it's not there initially, so we need to now save and load, basically, for it to appear. And that saves a considerable amount of time. Paulista.
Yes, so the cutscene we're skipping is that MacArthur is sorely fixated on his own survival and killing off not just Outwards but everyone else involved who is not on his side. Only Isaac, who he deems the only one wise enough that he trusts, doesn't get inflicted by MacArthur's actions. As MacArthur shuts off the oxygen, Isaac takes it upon himself to take away his oxygen whilst they're both suited up, killing MacArthur. Isaac tries to communicate to Ark Labos, but in the process is at the exact time that Homeward tore a hole in Ark Labos' ship. Isaac then makes a full call to everyone on Mars that if anyone is still alive, head to Ark Vita.
So when we're making our way to Ark Vita in a moment, there's actually going to be a bit more of an interesting situation than we had once initially thought, because we're thinking, you know, it's just the Arks. Like, obviously, we did see that big excavation of Mars as well. Like, you know, them trying to make, you know, a habitable place for them to all live and exist, and probably the amount of years that it took. But we don't know how long that whole excavation took. So when they go over to Ark Vita, you're going to see probably a vastly different kind of like building structure and situation, because again, this is outward. Not, no, this is homeward. Not, wait, no, this is outward, isn't it? Yeah, this is still outward technically, because Isaac is kind of on the side of outward, I believe. Oh, goodness me. Like, this is where my brain gets a little bit foggy, because homeward is the ones that was rebelling against outward, and outward is initially run by MacArthur. And I think that Isaac is trying to take over outward to give outward the love and respect that it actually did want to have before it was run by the supremacy of somebody who was just like mentally chaotic and wanted to you know, if you weren't on his side, then you're not on his side, if you know what I mean, that kind of situation. So with Isaac's mind and ideas and building, like, you know, for technology, resources, and, you know, environments, he's going to build a completely different structure that MacArthur was directed to do. So you'll see something. When we go into like chapter 9, you'll see more about like the Ark Vita environment very soon, and how it just feels like a completely different place, and like how humanity actually lives in this area. So yeah, I think I've said a little bit there.
Yeah.
There's some lore bits that we do need to discuss as well, isn't there? Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to see about the one about Isaac and the communications?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Yes. So once Isaac reaches the communication terminal, he tries to send a message down to Earth to Kathy, even knowing that in doing so may cause WSA to try to find him and take him as prisoner. Sadly, his transmission fails, but in actuality, only static is sent, and the one line of Moon Bear gets sent through. However, replaying this hologram of his transmission allows for Isla to decipher the exact location of Ark Vita.
Right, here we go. This is the bit I mentioned here about the Kathy bit. God, I love that. That's like one of my favorite transitions of a cutscene, like for a chapter ever. Genuinely, like it's powerful.
15 years ago.
Come on!
Sorry, I ruined the moment.
Emotional moment. 3 hours later. You go through an emotional moment. Anyway.
Sorry, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Hey, at least we pandered to a humor, which is the most important thing. Right, for that comedic value, why don't we go to some serious notation? Paulus, please.
Yes, so as a child, we're outside in the middle of a storm, and we have to follow the voice of Isaac to get back through the barn and into the house. Once inside the house, Claire comforts us and takes us into the cupboard underneath the stairs for protection. Bit of a deja vu moment here, as you can see, being held like so.
Take Kathy to the closet under the stairs.
And I will hold off a little bit.
Let me through, Claire. Anyway, sorry, I was so angry for that moment. I don't know what happened over me.
Come here, quick!
I'm here. Can you not see? I'm just to your left.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm right here.
Hurry.
Okay. Oh.
All right.
So there's going to be a little cutscene in a moment that we're going to be skipping, and it's a dramatic moment. It's a very emotional moment.
Shall I read it out?
Please do, yeah.
Liz, the mother, is outside, still trying to listen to Isaac's voice
Literally right happening now, yeah.
to make their way back, but is struggling to find their way. Until she makes
Liz!
I see the observatory.
No, don't go in there! It's not safe in the...
a bad decision
No! Liz!
to head towards the observatory. In the cutscene we skip, we learn that Liz did not make it due to the observatory collapsing and falling on her.
It's it gives you so much of the understanding why there has been so much emotional disarray between Claire and Isaac during the whole course of this game as well, because we've only got we've only had very tidbits of what may have happened, but we have not been able to piece it together. That is kind of like the pinnacle of the reason and the why Isaac then was fixated on the idea of, because a storm had killed Liz, basically, or Mother, that we need to get off Earth. Earth is not safe. It's not safe for the family. We need to live somewhere else completely. Let's go to another planet because that it will be habitable at some point. But if we all stick together, then we can make it happen. Within Deliver Us the Moon, it was about to happen. Then Isaac made some bad decisions, and then tried to escape to go to Mars, to another potentially habitable planet, for which he wanted to try to take us from the moon base, which we were in cryosleep, over to Mars as well. But again, Claire, who was kind of against Isaac, then managed to take us. And now now it's kind of come full circle to a point where we are now trying to find Dad. And I think Kathy just wants a little bit of closure, but there's going to be a bit more than just closure happening. So as I mentioned, this is going to be the big dome that is surrounding Arc Vita. This is where, the remaining Outwardians, who, within a cutscene that we did also skip as well, Isaac made one last major call out to, radio transmissions on Mars, that anyone who survived the oxygen depletion that was caused by MacArthur, to come to Arc Vita to try to restore just some form of civilization. You can see that people are just living freely, and they're living comfortably. Look at them. They're just randomly expecting. You can see green life over here as well. There's structure. There's integrity. There's water lines. There's power. Things are we don't know how long this has been happening for as well. So this has actually been a whole situation of just they've been working on this for years, possibly. But we're going to be having a big catch up with Father in the cutscene that we skip. Yeah. And here he is. There's Isaac. Hello, Isaac.
Hi, Isaac.
Hi, son of.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about what happened within the lore bits coming up, because there was going to be a bit of another major skip happening soon. People are cheering over there.
Yeah.
So let's talk about lore. Yeah.
So as both Isaac and Kathy walk and catch up, we find out that he's been taking leadership once again to make this place a proper community and leading this place to a point where they can fully achieve the community productivity through the limitations they're currently facing.
Sorry, there's a little bit of spit on the monitor. I'm just going to get rid of. There we go.
Yes. He also reflects on the day that everything went down and just the effect it had, and how only limited people survived the fate of MacArthur's actions. Do I continue?
Yes, please, yeah.
Yeah, as we continue up the pathway behind the fence, we see that Isaac had never let go of the thought of family by recreating...
Wait. So,
doing a thing.
But no,
Isaac did a thing, and that's
Isaac did a thing, but no, I can touch on that a tiny bit, actually.
Yes.
Isaac, during the course of this whole Deliver Us the Moon to Deliver Us Mars, has never let go of the mentality of family. Everything he's doing right now, he's basically doing it for Kathy. Do it for her. Do it for Lisa.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
Do it for her.
But, in his blindsidedness of trying to do it for Kathy, he doesn't realize the kind of, hypocrisy of his own actions. And, the kind of damage that he's irreparably doing in the process. That was with I say that kind of towards, Deliver Us the Moon, because what Isaac did in Deliver Us the Moon is why he is deemed as an imprisonable person for the WSC in the first place. Play Deliver Us the Moon. It will explain so much more. We're focusing on Deliver Us Mars right now at the same time. Behind here is where Isaac is trying to keep that mentality of family. This is his own personal section as well. So yeah, he didn't even think that he was going to be able to see Kathy, because again, the transmission that it was going to be sent to back down to Earth, he thought had failed. So the matter of fact that Kathy's even here in the first place, he is elated, he's joyous, and he wants to show Kathy something. Something that she may like. And that is some lights being turned on in this room.
Seems like that's just a test.
And it's a reconstruction of the building, of the family building, of the family home.
The family home.
And, you know, like, you can tell that, like, you know, he's just, he cannot let go, basically. He wants to keep just any kind of form of familiarity of family possible. In a cutscene that we're also going to skip as well, I don't think I actually wrote this. He actually made a wooden moon bear, which he also gives to Kathy. And I know it's a very, very emotional, very touching, but Kathy starts to see, that kind of, you've got to let go kind of situation, just a tiny bit. So,
right.
But no, for the meantime, we can talk about the cutscene that we're actually going to be skipping here. So, pause there.
So, whilst Isaac tries to establish the fact that he's missed Kathy so much, she delivers the bad news that she wants to save him and bring him back to Earth and the Arks. Isaac tries to convince Kathy that everything needs to stay the way it is on Mars and that it was all made for her so that they could live there happily ever after. Kathy soon comes to the realization that this was the same effective plan that happened within Deliver Us the Moon, that Isaac had never planned to save Earth whilst up there, and his silence upon being asked the question says all she needs to know, and solidifies the point that he needs to be returned to Earth and imprisoned. Sarah and Ryan arrive at the dome, enters with the rover, which Isaac is called back urgently to investigate. Sarah slips in once Isaac leaves so she can help Kathy to escape.
Cool. And the nice thing about that as well, you see that you got some Kyokin foil there as well at the same time. So Kyokin did their own little cheeky nod to themselves just around this little section here, just in case you forget who developed and published this.
Kyokin doing the game equivalent of "I made this game" smiley face.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice little nod. I like it.
Absolutely.
So the reason that we're doing the skip here for the major skip very shortly is because we actually need the function to be able to run. When we go into the dome in the first place, it limits our speed of which we can run. And I'm going to point out when we get our point of running back where actually we need it in the first place. If we can find a way to get around this, then this could change the fate of this chapter 9 actually. Because we found a point where we could go into the out of bounds way earlier, but it is not usable in its current format right now with the routing that we got. Always looking for new runners, so if you're intrigued by this run, please feel free to join us in speedrun.com /DeliverUsMars. We got a speedrunning Discord. We got Clash Code, one of our friends who is an out of bounds finder as well, and found pretty much a lot of these these skips here that you've been seeing today. And we're always looking for some new, fresh friends to be able to find potentially better skips. So come join us, why don't you? Yes. Okay, so we'll catch up with the lore in a second. I'm gonna show you lots. A fun little out of boundsy strats because I'm just gonna let it speak for itself. That's probably gonna be a good idea, isn't it? Okay, so after we've kind of looked at the three things again, which is basically trying to find the navigation for how we are going to try to get to that end point over there without being seen and making a safe point for Sarah, who's still currently reeling from the wound damage as well that she's going through. I don't know about it either. We're going to see how it works. So,
Okay.
Good luck. We're all counting on you. Okay, so now that we get our run back, we're going to go around to the right side. Instead of going forward, we're going to go back a little bit. We're going to crouch. That's a jump. Thank you, Nico. And we're going to meander a little bit over to the right here. If it wants to. Wait a second, excuse me.
And
there we go.
hey,
Nice. So,
yeah.
So what's going on is that if we hit a specific point of the surroundings as well, it'll just deload everything to a point that it even loses its collision and properties. So we can find a way to navigate around to be able to again put us back in bounds and get to a point that we actually do need to be to continue the progression of the game. But as we mentioned, we do need that run because as we are going to be going through the emergency entrance into the terminal area of the launch bay for Arc Vita, we've got a specific point that we need to jump to, and that is where you know, you would need to run, basically. And we can't get any other way up there unless you have the run. So you'll see in just, I think literally like 10 seconds from now, actually. Yep, just here. So we get up here, turn around, and this is where we need to jump up to. There's no other way that we can find to get up there. So that's why we do our little sort of like out-of-bounds strat at that point. Right, I think this is going to be a point that we can do a big sort of like catch-up as well. So, Paulisto, are you down to talk about some lore?
Yes, so where we last left off, it was Sarah and Ryan arrive at the dome. In the process of them stealing Habitas's rover, they were able to locate where Ryan was at Ark Labos, and they're trying to get into that Ark at the same time. So Kathy makes the executive decision to press onto Ark Vita and fly from there. Now, after the strat, the door to the elevator gets closed before we can go up, so we take an emergency entrance into the Tesla chambers, which we can scale further upwards towards the control center for Ark Vita. Once we reach the control center, Sarah locks Isaac out, who then tries to reason with us.
I'm an idiot.
So, once we respawn...
Yeah. Thankfully, it's not too... Here's the thing. Because there is still no runs for just the normal any %, this is still a world record anyway, so that's fine. Anyway, carry on.
All right. So, yeah. What else do we have? Yes. Once we reach the control center, Sarah locks Isaac out, who then tries to reason with us and hear him out. However, we leave him behind as Kathy just has no trust for him anymore.
Okay, jump!
Oh!
Okay. I normally don't fail this bit, so come on, Nico. Actually, this kind of worked out because... Really? What is going on right now? What? Wait, whoa.
Cursed pillars.
There it is. Okay, good. Because this is where we need to get to here in the first place, so...
Okay.
It kind of worked out, but not really. Okay. Up we go.
Hup.
Oh, that was a close one as well.
Yes.
Right, I think, yeah, we're going to be coming up to a point of yet another going up the Tesla coils. This one is a little bit more like, it's kind of like teaching you, hey, you got to go fast up them because, you need to try to get back around before you get electrocuted, which I think I might actually get electrocuted. No, I didn't. Thank goodness.
There you go. Nice.
So, yeah, so it teaches you, like, hey, you got to go fast. Sonic speed, basically. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be running up towards the terminal bay of where we're going to be starting the launch sequence for Ark Vita. And, please continue, Paulisto.
On the way to boarding Ark Vita, Sarah's injuries are worsening, and she needs to be assisted making their way to the bay doors of the Ark. Isaac suddenly has a change of heart, and willingly comes with them onto the Ark.
So that's going to be happening very, very shortly. We're going to be skipping a cutscene here of Isaac trying to reason with us in the first place. Like, hey, Moonbear, it's me, it's Daddy. Come on. Like, just it's fine. It's fine. But unfortunately, this is where, again, Kathy's still starting to see his hypocrisy, and, he's just like, just go. So, yeah, now you can see that she's not doing too well. She really needs assistance. So, we've got to try to actually, fireman lift her. Well, I don't think that's a fireman lift. It's close enough anyway. Up to the point of the end of the launch way to get Isla to open up the door because we actually don't really know the passwords. Isla does know the passwords to get in. There's Isaac willingly have come through to the point of the Ark, basically leaving everybody else, which is another kind of form of he's only thinking for himself, and he just wants to find a place that he can live freely with. I always do that. Jesus. Okay, we need to press F, go into that button. Then we press that. There we go. Thank you.
And there we go.
And you're done. But, so all the other audience that were living in that area, sadly, are meeting the same fate of what MacArthur did, which was they're not going to survive anymore, really, are they? Because, I don't know who, I don't know if it was us who destroyed the oxygen tanks of the Albert area, but it's, again, it's just not going well. What other lore do we have right now?
Just a feat of desperation to survive in any way possible. Afterwards, it's just, the epilogue.
Basically, yeah. So we're coming up towards near the very end of this game right now. So time will be coming up as soon as... Oh, no, we still got a while. Time's going to be coming up when we click on the chair of Isaac, for which basically, what's her name again? Sarah has granted Isaac permission to be able to, to have his own space. But this space actually hosts something special upon the Ark. So on Ark Vita is the bioprinter. The bioprinter that actually is not mutating or things like that, is actually a working bioprinter. That's because we're going to be bringing the Ark Vita and the Ark Labos back to Earth. Because Ryan whilst they were on the rover stuff, we wanted to try to bring as much as we can back to Earth. So we managed to bring 2 of the 3 Arks. Ryan is operating the power transfer controls. There we go. Jesus. So Ryan is operating Ark Labos, and at the same process as well, like some of the Outboardians are trying to get onto Ark Labos to kind of like to take control of that Ark at the same time. The only problem with that as well is that like he handles them in a way. We are going to skip a cutscene of how he handles them, but essentially what is skipped is he kills them, which further reiterates to the point of the kind of situations what MacArthur was doing, which was like, if you're not on my side, you're gone. Brian's kind of like going into that same that same mentality. So he's only thinking for himself and essentially family, which is Sarah. So it's just humanity itself is never good. Like it's kind of getting to a point of saying like, humanity is never going to repair itself. There's always going to be, that kind of like that violence, that nature that's always existing. Even if we can try to control it, then it's not going to be happening, unfortunately. But what you can control is donating towards Alzheimer's Fund and towards controlling further research towards getting rid of Alzheimer's. So if you are able to, we got that one big bonus run of incentive of the $10,000 to reach for Benji to do Super Mario run.
Yep.
So this is going to be the last run of ESA Marathon 2. So get your final donations in before we are finished up for this run.
Let's bid Stream 2 adieu for this event with
Get
some
ready
lovely
on the timer.
donations.
And the timer will be ending once I turn around. And time.
There it is. It is a 1:58.42 RTA.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Even though we got a 1:58, it didn't beat my New Game Plus world record. Because this is 80%, this is a world record.
Woo!
So, feels cool, man.
Yeah.
And here you can see the bioprinter in action, actually like making life, like from the fauna and everything. So this is now capable of bringing life back to Earth, and this is what we're trying to bring. But there's going to be a bit of a cutscene in a moment where, actually, I do want to kind of like let this play out a little bit, because this is kind of like this in itself is a very, very powerful speech. So enjoy the ending of Deliver Us Mars. This is a very touching moment.
I just remember the day we were born. Probably don't know this, but I almost lost you and your mother that day.
By the way, there's a little bit of a trigger warning in a bit, so for those who are not too comfortable with talks of birth and stuff like that as well, please listen away now. I'll let you know when you can come back.
Rolling blackouts were a common occurrence. But this time the flood took out the hospital's generators. It wasn't exactly optimal, to say the least. You were born with an umbilical cord, your umbilical cord wrapped around your neck. And your mum lost consciousness due to shock.
You can return now if you are trigger warning by that. Just wanted to put that out there.
I was just standing there in the corner, watching all the nurses and doctors running around trying to save you both. I felt so useless. So utterly bound.
You can see how he's chained to the chair as well. Like it's, this is his prison basically, but he's observing and trying to continue the form of creating life.
Don't take me away. We won't be together, you know that, Kathy. I really did try to do what's best for humanity's survival.
Except for killing all of those people in Outward. Thanks, Isaac.
Aye, cheers, Paul.
No matter how hard we try, we just can't seem to unite.
Basically what I said earlier on as well.
Fight each other if we have a common enemy or a common goal. We disagree on how to overcome it. We become hateful in our rhetoric and destructive in our actions. We'll steal another man's bread if we're hungry, and we'll destroy their home if we want it for ourselves. We keep doing this to each other, to ourselves, as if somehow personal gain always triumphs unity. What are we trying to save if we ourselves just end up destroying it?
This is another bit I'm going to show you for like that whole bit with Brian. You'll see that in a second.
But then, who says you're right? Who gets to decide that?
It's good to hear your voice. What happened to the Unison colonists?
That, it's all worked out and, taken care of.
Good.
Aha.
I love you too.
Yeah, right. It's
Now
this is
that-
kind of like it's still like even as Isaac's speaking, it's literally happening in the moment as well. And Ryan's like, you know,
And even if there is a way of knowing that you're fighting for the true greater good, I mean, why do you have to fight for it in the first place? God, how do you stay strong through all that? How do you stay good?
so now the bioprinter is stopping working, but we don't know where in the lineage that is. Did that happen before or after, like at this point of his speech? Because, like, you know, at the point of speaking, it's working. But was that malfunction earlier or after? Are they going to be bringing back a bioprinter that doesn't work back to Earth? What is going to happen if, when we come back to Earth, we like the ability to create life just stops and they can't fix it? And here is the mutated flower that we skipped in like chapter 6, I believe it is. Oh, that one, yeah. That is basically a mutated form of the bioprinter that malfunctioned on Mars. She's kept that for the whole way since. Onwards to Earth they go. And so ends Deliver Us Mars. Thank you everybody for watching through the final scene of it as well. I know it's very emotional. It's a very, very emotional scene at the same time. But again, this is a very, very powerful game. I fully appreciate this game and the kind of storylines that they've been putting through. Kyokan have done amazing in you know, choosing the right people to be the voice actors for this, and they're delivering the emotion that it wants to provide. And I'm hopeful for a follow-up for this, for potentially Deliver Us Earth. We'll see what happens. Either way, I've been Nikoheart. This has been Deliver Us Mars. This has been Paul Stir, my commentator. If you do want to watch some...
This is Sarah
oh,
Baker,
hold on.
Commander of Mission Opera.
I haven't actually... I
Mission was a
forgot about this bit.
success. We're returning to Earth. ETA is 6 months, 13 days, and 4 hours. Mission Control, please respond. This is our 3rd attempt to reach you. Are you there?
Oh, it's such like a cliffhanger, isn't it? It's such a cliffhanger. So,
And what a way. I mean, this is perhaps one of the best ways to wrap up Stream 2. That final run with a powerful message. Incredible.
and we'll be bringing you lot potentially over to another lovely person on Twitch. Now that Stream 2 is soon to finish. Thank you, Kyokin Interactive, for making this game and the love that you share to the communities who play this game as well. Again, this is one of my favorite games to run as well. Like it's a personal touch as well that I sincerely love. Again, if you do want to follow me and to see all the other exciting things that we're doing at the moment with like different camera controllers and different unconventional controllers and Elden Ring playthroughs and speedruns, you can follow me over at Nikoheart, twitch.tv/Nikoheart. All my other socials are hello Nikoheart. This is Paulister. Talk about yourself, do your plugs.
Yeah, absolutely. Twitch.tv/Paulister as per usual. If you want some chill vibes, I try to play a few games. Currently trying to go through Star Wars Jedi Survivor and also doing a bunch of speedruns of other stuff. Namely, I've done a little bit of Love 3. I'm thinking about maybe going back to the Battle Block Theater.
Ooh.
And maybe even learning properly this time, for real, Sonic Mania. Finally dipping my toes into some Sonic speedruns.
I mean, Argic's behind you, so...
Hi, Argic! I'm coming for your title. I'm going to fail, but it's fine. Yeah.
But yeah, that has been us, and this has been ESA Marathon 2. Thank you for enjoying the plethora of runs that has been hosted on the second channel of ESA. I hope you've enjoyed your time here. Don't forget, we've got still a few more runs and one more, well, this day remaining of ESA. Make sure you go over to ESA Marathon, twitch.tv, without the number, so that you can continue to watch just more fantastic runs that ESA Marathon provide to you, all for the purpose of raising money for charity for the different charities that they raise money for. This time around for summer, it is the Alzheimer's Fund, and please put your donations towards a good cause. And that is me. Hi, Josh Miss.
Hello. I think you've said everything I was going to say. Yeah. There you go. Well done. Well done. Thank you so much for the run. Yeah, coming up next is nothing. We're coming offline. We are going to raid ESA Marathon, so we can all go over there and enjoy the TAS showcase they have going on right now. You remember TASBot? We have him. He's here. The one and only. Dwango AC has him. We're going to go all enjoy that, watch that, and yeah, keep on donating, and we'll see you all next time, I guess, over on Stream 2 for whenever the next event will be. See you later. Goodbye. Everyone wave bye.
Bye.